So taking a look at a couple articulations from the upper limb. Here we have the shoulder, and here we have the elbow. We'll take a look at the shoulder first. So we're looking at the anterior surface. This is the scapula, the anterior surface of the scapula. You can see the humerus over here, and the clavicle sticking up here. So if we come back to the scapula, we can see a few structures specific to it. We can see the coracoid process here, and then the acromion at the back. And once we're oriented to that, we can easily see that these plastic pieces, these are the ligaments connecting bone to bone. And here between the coracoid process and the acromion, we have the coracoacromial ligament. So this is the coracoacromial ligament here, and that takes us up to the acromion. And there we see this ligament that's going to connect the acromion to the clavicle. That is the acromioclavicular ligament right there. If we come back and we look at this this area right here, these are our capsular ligaments, and the way, and so these ligaments right here, those are capsular ligaments. And if we go back from that, we can see a tendon that runs here to the biceps brachii. So if this, we could follow this down, it would attach to the biceps brachii muscle down there. So that is the biceps brachii tendon. And just behind it, we see another tendon. So this tendon actually runs to a muscle that would be in there, and that muscle is called the supraspinatus muscle. And so this connective piece here is the tendon. So this is the supraspinatus tendon. So then if we move a little bit more medial, we see these ligaments in here. Remember, this was our coracoid process, just to orient you, and here's our clavicle up here, and we have these two ligaments that are side by side. That, hopefully to you, that looks like a trapezoid, the geometric shape of a trapezoid. That is the trapezoid ligament right there between the coracoid process and the clavicle. And then here, this is the conoid ligament. Then down here below that, right here, we have the superior transverse scapular ligament, and you can see how it sort of makes a hole. It's going to hold some nerves here into the scapular notch right there. That is the job of the superior transverse scapular ligament. So those are our structures for the shoulder. If we turn it over and look at it from the back, all we really have back here are more capsular ligaments around the back. So sometimes that's called the glenohumeral joint, because we have the glenoid cavity and then the humerus. It's where they articulate together. All right, our second articulation of the upper limb is the elbow. And we don't need to know too much from this. Obviously the bones are the humerus at the top, and it's really helpful that we have that very large medial epicondyle there, so we can tell that that is medial. That's going to be to the inside. The person's body is here, and this is going to be the ulna, and then this will be the radius on the inside. And looking at it here from the back, most of what we see here is the articular capsule, the articular ligaments here. And so we kind of need to turn it around. So we were looking at it from the posterior surface there. And as we begin to turn it, we can see that we have this structure that connects between the ulna and the radius, and that's called the oblique cord. We can also see that we have this little piece sticking out here. That is the other end of the biceps brachii tendon. So we saw our origin in the shoulder, and this is our insertion down here, kind of wrapped around the radius. That is our biceps brachii tendon. And now if we look at this articulation here from the front, this is again the biceps brachii tendon. We can see the oblique cord right here, and then this area here that kind of wraps around. Most of these are capsular ligaments, but this area right here, this is the annular ligament that kind of wraps around. And then we have, this is the radius, so this is the radial collateral ligament on this side. And then we have, kind of got to get up under there, we have the ulnar collateral ligament running on the other side, because this is our ulna. You can tell it's the ulna there from the olecranon process there. All right.